It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Choosing the best floor for each area in your home is no easy task. There's a lot to weigh up and endless options to pick from as well. Now, with 7 companies over 4 different continents, BELGOTEX is Africa's leading carpet and artificial grass manufacturer. And with an extensive product portfolio, including some luxury and some specialist vinyls, carpets, and even artificial grass, they really do stand head and shoulders above the rest. And joining us this morning to unpack this a little bit more and get us excited is CEO Edward Collar and Chief Commercial Officer Evan Lockhart-Baker. Gentlemen, welcome.
Cheers.
I know you guys live in different provinces. Nice to see each other. Nice to spend some time on the couch.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely good to be in Cape Town.
We love having you here in person, so thank you so much for coming through. Just a little bit of kind of exploration I've done. I'm already starting to get excited about carpets and floors and fake grass, which seems crazy. I would imagine you are very excited about this. Ed, I'm going to start 35 years ago. That's an incredible track record, an incredible relationship with your market. Where did it all begin for the brand that now has obviously achieved so much?
Yeah, so my grandfather essentially started a group of companies in Europe in the 1950s. So I'm kind of third generation. He had this vision back then in Europe to kind of democratize the floor and basically make flooring cost effective and accessible to the masses. And through that was able to kind of play a global role. He had 6 children, of which my mom is one, and his strategy was send them to different parts of the planet. and that's how we ended up here, or my parents at least, in 83, and set up the business. And so each of my aunts and uncles do a similar thing all over the world. And yeah, you know, being around 40 years, we've had to kind of change the business regularly, look at new products, reinvest. It's not the same thing that it was obviously 40 years ago, but it's been a crazy journey and still having fun.
And it's still a family business despite having achieved so much, which is amazing. Evan, I'm gonna turn to you now. When you talk about making flooring more accessible, democratizing flooring, that's something that's gonna slot in really well in a South African mindset right now. How are you guys getting that right? How are you making good quality flooring more accessible for the South African market?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we've leaned into it quite heavily since 2020. In fact, at the beginning of 2020, we decided to do some research to really understand how we can take this democratizing the floor and accessibility and access to this kind of flooring to a wider market. So we actually started with some research that landed sort of March 2020, right in the start of the pandemic. And that taught us some amazing things. So we learned about, you know, what the home means to people, how the home evolved over that time, from not just being a home to being an office, to be a classroom, to there's multiple things we had to deal with. But great insights in terms of how we needed to change, you know, how people viewed our products, how they came closer to them. And that allowed us to change even the format of products. So you can even order a small version of a carpet now off the website, just to create it, to make that accessibility so much easier. We've done things like online sampling, where you can order a set of samples and have it delivered in a couple of days. And we've created some really good tools to just make that transition from, okay, you have a good idea, and how do you make that happen? You know, and bring those two worlds a lot closer together.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's through that opportunity in really enriching the relationship you have with your clients. And ultimately, the product has to stand up. Doesn't matter how good your marketing is, how good your history is, you've got to be able to have the product range to match that. You guys have got quite an extensive product range with a couple of kind of firm favorites within your market. Can you talk me, maybe, Ed, through some of the range?
Sure. You know, like I say, we've evolved and had to innovate within ourselves over the years to remain relevant. We started as more of a residential-focused company back in the 80s. Carpet was the primary floor choice for the consumer. So we've evolved into commercial carpeting, artificial turf, vinyls obviously being a massive part of the market globally, hard flooring in general. Yeah, a hospitality portfolio. You know, with whatever the equipment we've got, with the networks we've got, it's pretty easy to kind of slot new products in. Flooring is an integral part of any building structure. And so as things keep evolving, we just kind of slot new things in and and remain part of the conversation.
I love that, and that's often something you'll take for granted. You also offer indoor and outdoor sports surfaces as well. When did that evolve, and are a lot of people building sports things at home?
There's a fair amount, a lot of kind of converting of tennis courts. You've got the base there. But yeah, I mean, so we looked at turf as a massive opportunity about 5 years before the 2010 World Cup, to be honest, as that whole kind of euphoria of World Cup came. So we partnered with a European company. They shared their IP with us. And essentially the carpet machinery is the same equipment that you use to make an artificial hockey field, for example. So we've got, a hockey portfolio, a football portfolio, as things are evolving, the five-a-side kind of
I was going to say, you must have seen fives and gone, ching.
100%. Of late, paddle is kind of a new thing starting off. It's kind of this combination of tennis and squash. And there we took the business model a little further than what was existing. So not only do we make the carpet, but we've also got a fully fledged turnkey construction division that offers the end user, a one-stop shop, all-in construction solution, which is pretty
Absolutely
nifty.
Brilliant, man. I've got to ask you, Evan, how do people go about choosing the right floor for them? I know that there's a lot to consider in this space. Where do you begin? What should be going through a person's mind when considering their choices?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very individualistic kind of choice and creativity when someone's at home and, what style do they want. We've definitely seen consumers have more access to information. So I think people tend to know what they like and they just need some confidence to make that next decision. We have quite a significant network of partners who do the installation for us around the country. Those partners are all available on our website. So depending on where you live, you can basically find a number of options on the website to engage with a partner. And then for us, making that transition online to make some of those decisions a bit easier has transformed. We obviously try keep on touch with trends and color changes and all of that. So that's big R&D work on our side. And then we've done fun things like augmented reality, where you can use your iPhone, choose a product, and actually in situ have a look at that product in your own space. But, it's a very tactile product, and we try to connect people to learning a little bit of how the product looks online and then engaging with our network to make those final choices and, estimating and some product choice definitely happens in that world. So
a little bit of old school, a little bit of new school.
Yeah,
how far
100%.
we have come in 40 years. That's incredible. I'm going to wrap this up now with you, Ed. You've recently received South Africa's first custom industrial 6 Green Star rating. Why is going green to this degree so important to you?
It's kind of been the philosophy of the business is that a lot of the way we make decisions is about long term. Whether it's in investing in new machinery, there's a 10-year decision there. So that's kind of baked into the business. There's no short wins. And so, yes, the 6-star green rating building was a fantastic kind of internal achievement on wanting to achieve something and then going and doing it. But that's kind of one of many in that conversation. Sustainability is key for so many reasons. I don't think there's any...
Yeah, you need to do it now. It's not a nice to have. It's
exactly.
Nice to
have. And in the same conversation, there's sustainability, the way you make product, the raw material that you select, the end of use of that product, the staff that are involved in it, your supply chain, whether anti-slavery kind of commitments that we make.
You're future-proofing yourself, to use another COVID term. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure connecting with both of you. I'm just thinking, I can start my own family business and take over the world. Absolutely beautiful stuff. But to keep doing what you're doing, working with this conscience, working towards giving your market that accessibility and ultimately providing a market-leading product, I think is what it's all about. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. Enjoy a bit of quality time together while you got it. And, of course, we are hoping that you're going to get as excited and delve into this world, striving to be a world-class African brand showcased through the deep connections that they share with people, with product, and of course, with the planet. BELGOTEX focuses their efforts on innovation, on quality, and sustainable product manufacture. And there really is something for absolutely everyone.
Show.